Yes.
It is time. It has to be done.
Alright guys, hopefully you like that little mafia thing we did. My car still smells like cigarettes, so that's definitely something I'm never gonna do again. I don't even know why I wrote it in the script in the first place, but yeah, I thought it looked cool. Anyway, in this video we're taking a look at car shots, and we're going to talk about everything that we used in order to get the shots that you've seen previously. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so the gear that we use for this, well, little intro is the iFootage car mount, the Amaran Flex Matte, and then something that you haven't seen before, which is the Sony FX6. It's not my camera, I borrowed it, but it is definitely the best thing to use in a dark environment because we could shoot this at 12,800 ISO and it looked amazing. I barely had to do any noise reduction, so that's nice. And then the lens we used for this project, mostly, we used a couple lenses, but the main lens was the Leica R50mm Summilux, so that's the 1.4 version. And that made it possible to get a very nice shallow depth of field to get these mysterious shots, which I was looking for. All right, so for the first shot, the main objective was to have a very abstract look of the car, of me. And yeah, for some reason I wrote a cigarette into the script because then you have some, something to focus on in the car because obviously there's not much going on in a car. So that was a nice focus mark. So I wanted to have that cigarette there and then to see myself in the left outside mirror of the car. Then you could also see very sort of vague what I was doing. So you could see that I picked up the phone and then I sort of tried to enhance that with sound effects. On to the next shot. Okay, so the second shot was a very abstract shot of me holding the steering wheel with a nasty ciggy in my hand. We also used the 50mm on this and then we shot it over the left outside window. All right, again, I don't know how to call this, but and that gave us a really sort of, yeah, mysterious perspective on what I was doing there. And again, the lens did a huge job on this because it provided us with the bokeh and with the softness, but the car mount also worked really well on this because you have so many different planes to put the suction cups because, of course you have the windshield, but you also have the side of the door, and that is really nice. And because of this intuitive system, you have basically just magic arms that you can wiggle around whatever you want. So you can put this little, like screw-on head onto your camera and then click it onto your camera to secure it. And this really, it doesn't go anywhere. All right, the next shot was a shot that I've seen in a movie quite recently, but I cannot remember which one, was the half shot. And the cool thing about this one is that it shows you a very interesting perspective that you're normally not getting. So that's also a fun thing that you can do with a car mount like this. You can just put it basically wherever you want and try out if that angle or shot composition really works or not. So yeah, nothing really special here. We just mounted it and tried out a couple different shots, a couple different lenses. We ended up shooting this one on the 35mm. Remember that it is on full frame, so I would probably shoot this on a 24 if I did it on the Blackmagic camera. But yeah, I think it really works well and it's a really cool shot because also it adds to the mystery of what I'm doing. On to the last shot. Cruise, so chilling. Let's get going. All right, so the lens we used was the 35mm on a full frame sensor again. So that was nice and wide and gave us enough field of view for everything that we wanted to see in the shot. And then something that you might have seen already is that we took away the light. I typically don't like to shoot with the light. I like to have my darker areas, the shadow areas, on the camera side. So we took away the light and we actually mounted it to a street light. And because I was just rolling into a particular set or scene, the light was hitting me still in the face, which was nice. And that way we didn't have to mount it on the car or do any difficult things because it gave really bad reflections. So that's that. A quick word on the light. This is probably the best kind of light, not necessarily Amaran, but like a flex matte light in general. This one is made by Amaran. This is their new lineup, which is really nice. It's a full RGB, W, whatever, flex light. It works pretty good. The mounting is something that I would not recommend. Of course, we only brought one kit with us, so we didn't have the proper tools to mount this properly. So if you're going to drive fast, this is not recommended. I would definitely mount it with at least 2 or 3 of these arms or a very big sturdy one. But yeah, this, flex lights, mats is nice because you can also rig it in the car or fold it somewhere. So check it out. You ready, Guru? Okay, so let's quickly go over, well, the gear in more detail. So this is the case that you get when you purchase the car mount, and these arms you have to buy separately. And basically, if you want to do anything more advanced, basically you need these. So keep that in mind. So these little magic arms are extremely good. Also for camera purposes and then something that I really like is the fact that they thought about everything. So these are area locking pins, and then look at this. So whenever I press this, a small 1/4 inch pops out. It pops right in and you can lock it and you're good to go. So yeah, that's cool, no? Yeah. Ooh. Anyway, this is the ball head or the video head that we're using for this project. This is by far the best budget, well, not technically budget, but it's a cheaper variant and a lot better than my Manfrotto 504AH. It offers you a lot of great functionality and a lot of great, ways to play around with it. We certainly had fun, didn't we, Frank?
We did.
Cool. Let me know what you think of this rig and of this whole setup. That's it. See you guys in the next one. Peace. Bye. Wow. Cut. Just keeping film. Oh my god. Now I get awkward.